Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk with Tom. Today I want to tell you a story, not about success or grades, but about something much deeper. It's the story of a boy who believed school was everything, until life taught him what school never could. So sit back, relax, and listen closely. Because this story might just remind you what real learning is all about.
His name was Ethan. He was 15, quiet, polite, the kind of kid who always had his head buried in textbooks. Everyone saw him as the smart one. Teachers praised him. Parents compared their kids to him. And every test he aced made him believe that grades were the only thing that mattered. Ethan's world was made of numbers and letters, A's, B's, percentages. He didn't have time for friends. When other kids played football, he solved equations. When they went to parties, he stayed home and memorized notes. But here's the thing. Ethan wasn't happy. He didn't even know what happiness was supposed to feel like. He just knew that if he kept getting top marks, people would keep smiling at him. And maybe that was enough until one day everything changed. Chapter 1. The Failure. It was a rainy Tuesday morning. Ethan walked into his math class, confident, ready for the midterm results. He had studied for weeks. He barely slept. The teacher handed back the papers one by one. When she reached Ethan, she looked at him for a second, not with pride, but with sympathy. He turned the paper over. 54% A red mark, a number lower than he had ever seen. The room suddenly felt colder. He could hear whispers, not cruel ones, but ones that burned anyway. For the first time in his life, Ethan had failed. That night he didn't eat. He didn't speak. He just sat there, staring at the ceiling, wondering who he was without his grades. Chapter 2. The Stranger. The next afternoon, walking home in the rain, Ethan saw something strange. An old man sitting on the sidewalk, sketching in a notebook. People walked past him without noticing, but Ethan stopped. "Sir, you'll get wet," he said. The man smiled. "Ah, it's only water, boy. Besides, I'm learning." Ethan frowned. "Learning? Out here?" The old man nodded. "Everywhere is a classroom if you pay attention." Ethan didn't quite understand, but something about that sentence stuck in his mind. The man's name was Mr. Rowan. He lived alone in a small workshop by the park. Every afternoon, Ethan saw him there, drawing, fixing things, talking to people. Curiosity grew stronger than pride. So one day, Ethan stopped by. Chapter 3. Lessons Beyond Books. Inside Mr. Rowan's workshop, the air smelled of wood and paint. There were sketches, models, and broken watches on every shelf. Ethan looked around. "What is all this?" Mr. Rowan smiled. "Things people threw away. I fix them, and in return, they teach me something new." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "Teach you? How can broken things teach you?" Mr. Rowan chuckled. "Everything broken has a story. You just have to listen before you fix it." Ethan thought about that for a moment. He had never listened to anything except textbooks, so he began to visit every day. At first, he just watched. Then he started helping, polishing wood, tightening screws, asking questions, and slowly something began to change. He started to feel things: patience, curiosity, joy, emotions he never found in his math books. One day he asked, "Mr. Rowan, did you ever go to college?" The old man smiled. "I did, but I learned more fixing broken clocks than I ever did in classrooms." Chapter 4. The real test. Months passed. Ethan still studied, but his attitude changed. He started asking why instead of how. He stopped memorizing and started understanding. When the next exam came, he didn't aim for perfection. He aimed to learn. And guess what? He scored well. But this time he smiled not because of the grade, but because he understood it. Then one morning he went to the workshop and found it empty. Mr. Rowan was gone. On the work table lay a single note. The world is your classroom, Ethan. Keep learning from people, not just pages. Or Ethan stood there for a long time, holding the note. Tears filled his eyes, but his heart felt full. He finally understood. Learning wasn't about grades or approval or perfection. It was about curiosity, about growth, about becoming better, not just smarter.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, keep learning every single day. This is Talk with Tom. See you next time.